Okay, I want you to completely forget everything you think you know about the dawn of human civilization. We are constantly fed this myth of the primitive caveman, right? Just humans scraping by, trying to survive the wild with, sharpened rocks and stone tools. But what if that narrative is missing the absolute most incredible part of our origins? What if the very first written records on Earth weren't just some crude tallies of hunted animals, but profound, complex texts containing the deep secrets of the stars, the language of metals, and literally the hidden code of the universe itself?
Seriously, I want you to imagine a world that is totally unlike anything we see today. A world where the human body operated at its absolute maximum capacity, a time when giants quite literally walked the earth. Now, in this awe-inspiring setting, imagine a single prophet holding a text containing the sacred, hidden code of reality. It completely shifts how we look at our own history, doesn't it?
So let's dive right into this. Welcome back, everyone. Today we are unpacking the secret of the 50 pages, which is the very first written revelation ever given to humanity. In this explainer, we're going to explore a fascinating source text and look at a figure who absolutely changed the course of human history, Prophet Sheeth, also known as Seth. But real quick before we get into the heart of the matter, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and tell us in the comments exactly which country you're joining us from today. It really helps us bring these incredibly deep structural truths to more focused learners like you. All right, ready? Let's go back to the very beginning.
Our story actually kicks off right in the middle of unimaginable sorrow.
Adam and Hawa were left in just indescribable pain following the tragedy of Habel and Habel, which our source text identifies as the first murder in human history. It was a remarkably dark time, but right in the thick of that total darkness, a profound comfort arrived, and that was the birth of Sheeth. Now, unlike their previous children who were all born as twins, Sheeth was born completely alone, and his name literally translates to gift of Allah. When Adam held him, this overwhelming divine calm washed over him, because this wasn't just another child. This was a clear sign that a completely new era for humanity was beginning.
Sheeth was basically the mirror image of his dad Adam. He carried this distinct physical and spiritual maturity right from day one. In fact, he was the very first prophet born and raised directly on earth. And, as our text notes, upon his forehead he carried the nur, a special divine light. And this wasn't just symbolic either. It was a sacred physical light that the text actually traces all the way down the generational line directly to Prophet Muhammad.
Now, as Sheeth grew up, the knowledge he was getting wasn't your standard father-son life advice.
Picture this for a second. Adam and Sheeth sitting together under this vast canopy of stars. Adam is sharing memories of the absolute peace of paradise, sure, but he's also delivering a very dire warning that the whispers of Shaitan are actually far more dangerous than any physical sword. And the specific curriculum of this early knowledge is just mind-blowing. Adam wasn't just giving Sheeth basic survival tips on, how to forage or build a hut. We're talking advanced subjects like medicine, complex mathematics, agriculture, and the guidance of the stars. The source text makes it a point to emphasize that Adam taught him the inner order of matter. He was literally passing down the structural blueprint of the physical world.
But all of that foundational teaching, that was just a warm-up for what was about to happen next.
The true trust of humanity was fully handed over when Allah revealed exactly 50 pages specifically to Sheeth. Let that number sink in for a second. 50 pages. This is a massive, massive milestone because, for the first time ever, the truth was protected not just through oral tradition and spoken word, but through actual writing. These 50 pages acted as the very first manual for an organized society. They laid out the precise codes for how to govern, how to establish justice, and how to resolve complex disagreements.
And the contents went so much deeper than just civic law. Medieval Islamic scholars who studied these traditions believed these pages held the absolute origins of material sciences. The text details that Sheeth was the first human to understand the intricate secrets of metals, like he knew the precise chemical methods for separating gold from silver. Because of this profound understanding of matter, Sheeth's name actually echoes through the ancient esoteric teachings of Greece, Egypt, and all across the globe.
But of course, wherever there is light, opposition is bound to show up.
While Sheeth was meticulously using these 50 pages to construct a highly just civilization high up on the mountain, a very different kind of society was forming down below. So on one side, you have the mountain people, fully guided by the rigorous written truth and justice found in the 50 pages. But on the other side, down in the valleys, were the descendants of Habel, and they had completely forgotten Allah. They weren't building on truth at all. They were drifting rapidly into rhythm, endless entertainment, and spiritual forgetting.
And the source text gets incredibly specific about how this forgetting was engineered. It was a highly calculated strategy. According to the text, Shaitan actually took human form to introduce the first flute and the very concept of rhythm to the valley people. He didn't just introduce outright sin all at once. I mean, that would be way too obvious, right? Instead, he used collective entertainment and adornment as a weapon of mass distraction. It was a slow, systematic erasure of their memory of the divine through constant numbing amusement.
So, how on earth did Sheeth's people survive this kind of psychological warfare?
Well, that physical, written truth became their ultimate shield against the creeping distractions of the valley. And it's amazing to see how this chain of light builds across the generations. First, we start with Adam transferring the inner order of matter. Then we look at Sheeth, who governs and lives for a staggering 912 years. Think about that. His entire centuries-long life was fiercely dedicated to one single objective, ensuring the chain of light remained unbroken. And right before he passed, he fulfilled this mission. He whispered the hidden truths of the universe to his son, Enosh, handing him those physical 50 pages so the written shield would endure.
Now, why are we talking about all this today? Why does this ancient history matter to us right now?
It's because this exact dynamic is playing out right in front of our eyes in the modern world. The takeaways here are just incredibly relevant. Number 1, beware the danger within. Civilizations don't always fall to invading armies. A lot of times, they erode through boundless distraction that slowly chips away at core values. 2, knowledge is a trust. Sheeth didn't hoard the pages, did he? No, he built a society with them. Shared knowledge lives, hidden knowledge dies. 3, environment shapes destiny. Mixing with constant distraction makes forgetting highly contagious. And finally, number 4, forgetting is the enemy. We constantly need structural reminders, like the written word, to keep us anchored in truth.
Which brings us to the ultimate question for you to ponder today. Will you let distraction break the chain? You are the current link in a chain of human knowledge and spiritual memory that stretches all the way back to those very first 50 pages. Please don't let the endless entertainment of today erase your focus. Now, if you found this explainer as fascinating as I did, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, if we can get this explainer to 5,000 likes, we will immediately unlock our next deep dive on Prophet Idris, the man who perfected the very writing that Sheeth began. So smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, and keep learning. I'll see you in the next explainer.